Look at this mess. Besides the Kmart line, look at this mess. It's a old Syncopate. This is an old reel. Okay, this is going back to the early 2000s, I guess. Look at this reel. This, what looks like mud, is not mud. This is that Real Magic stuff. Somebody was probably using this in cold weather, and they were spraying it down to keep it from icing up. And I'm, you know, look, I hate it. If you work for Real Magic, I don't mean to take any business away from you, but this stuff is horrible. That's what's caused all this. So we're going to try to fix it. Hang on. Look, I didn't even put a clean towel down for this one. That's how bad it is. Oh, Lordy, folks. Yeah, she's a mess. Okay, it's got the... Oh, yuck. What is that? It's got the screw through the handle, so... We're going to take this one all the way down, and everything's going to get soaked for days. This isn't one of those reels I plan on keeping. This is one of those reels I plan on passing on. But I want to show you all what you can do with a reel like this. I apologize, I'm getting over a cold. Oh yeah, chest is just full of congestion. Excuse me. Everybody nose sick. Excuse me. So I think I got extra spool for this reel. Yep. There it is. Pretty sure that fits it. That's extra spool for that reel. I'll take that line off, and when I sell this reel, it'll get sold with extra spool. I should probably clean that one at the same time. Excuse me, folks. I apologize. Functionally, the reel's fine. It's just a mess. I don't see anything really wrong with the reel. I apologize for talking quietly. I'm still choked up. Let's see if I can take this thing apart. Oh, excuse me, folks. Goodness gracious. I managed to work all week with it, but it's catching up to me now. And take that retainer screw out. It's got a 12 millimeter probably, or a 13. Those two go together. Pull the rotor, we'll come back to that. You pay attention on these reels, how the anti-reverse is lined up right there. Goes from here to there. And when it comes around, it catches that tooth right there. Pretty simple. Let's take these 3 screws out. If I can keep my breath long enough to do that. Cold down here in the garage. I guess it's about 40 degrees, 45 degrees. I got the heater on. Not doing much good. This is kind of Shimano's heyday here. This is when they were really taking hold in the United States. And bass fishermen like me were like, hey, these are pretty damn nice reels. Excuse me just a second. I know everybody wanted to hear that, but hey, it's part of life, right? Let's take this screw out. I don't edit here. I just take reels apart. There's a bearing. Goodness gracious, I wish I could get unchoked here. You got a bunch of shims. This reel's in good shape on the inside. Okay, we got one screw here holding the axle shaft in on the crosswind. Pull that out. Pull the main gear out. There's no snaggle teeth on that. That's always a good thing. Simple reel. It's just got a crosswind with a single crosswind gear. Pull straight out. To pop that bearing out, I usually just take the backside of my little screwdriver and just pop it and pull it. Here's your anti-reverse setup, and there's a couple pieces. So you got this plastic piece and this metal piece sits into it, and I usually just take them apart and leave them like that. 2 retainer screws. You have to use a Phillips head on those. If you're new to the channel, you know I use these snap-on screwdrivers. Got a good deal on them. I'm a diesel mechanic by trade. Currently working on motor coaches, of all things. Something completely new to me. And yeah, I see the snap-on guy every week, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes not. Yeah, you have to have tools to make a living, all right? That's your pinion bearing. Those shims go with the pinion bearing. We could actually do it like this so we know what they go with. This does not need to come apart. I'm going to drop this in some cleaner and I'm going to let it soak and try to get the scum off of it. Same way with all this. Okay, over here, this is a dummy side. So let's go ahead and take take the quick fire off first. You got a long screw. Pay attention on Shimano's because they like to stuff little bushings and shims in on these things. We're not going to take that screw out yet. We'll take the roller screw out. This reel might have been used for ice fishing or something. I don't know. It's got all this reel magic all over it. Pay attention how all this goes together. Because that last reel I did, it really tried me. We'll come back to that. So make sure there's nothing up in here to come out. There is not. There is a large shim up in here. It's like a thrust washer, I guess you could say. And it does go in a certain way, actually. If I could just get it to cooperate. So you got a thrust washer. It's flat on one side and it's got grooves cut in on the other side. That's important. Now let's go through this. This was in here. That's how it goes together. And all this goes on the other side of it. Yeah, just like that. That's it. Okay, over here's a dummy side. It just flops around. So we're going to take that screw out. And make sure there's no bushings. There is a shim. You see that this is the kind of stuff Shimano throws at you right here. That would get lost in the parts washer. Hell, there might be two of them. There is two of them. Thanks, Shimano. That's the kind of stuff right there that drive you nuts at the end of the day when you're trying to put this thing back together. You're like, well, where'd that come from? I'll take these 3 screws out back here. And back here in the back, you're going to have your counterweight or counterweights. You got this lever. The lever comes out. You see how it's set in there. The S2, the number goes up. The letter number goes up. We're going to take this screw out. And hold on here because things could get ugly. Take that cover off. Put your finger over this. Pry it up. And this is your bell spring / trip spring. It's kind of like everything combined. Comes out just like that. Then you're free to take this off without anything going into flight on you. Pay attention for shims and bushings. Shimano will flat drive you nuts with bushings and shims. This reel is now complete. There's your pin for the bell spring. That reel's completely apart. I'm going to do this separate, probably off camera. That spool will go with this reel. Don't know if it was made for this reel or not, but it will fit this reel. So that's what it's going to do. All right. When I come back, I'm going to hopefully have a reel that looks totally different. We'll see. Sorry, I almost lost a lung on you there, but I'm still alive. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Boy, this thing was a mess. The only thing I haven't done is clean up the spare spool here. I'll do that off camera. It's just a matter of popping that drag out. And, it's really weird to drag on this. The drag on this reel was, man, I gotta get my heat going. It was like 32 degrees in the garage this morning. It's single digits outside, folks, for reference. We are experiencing one of our coldest winters on record here in Virginia. With a lot of snow. We had another, well, they're saying Roanoke only had like 3 or 1.5 inches of snow. That's bull crap. I mean, my snowblower was picking it up and throwing it, so it was a good bit of snow here. Of course, I live a little bit outside of Roanoke, Virginia, but nonetheless, it was more than 1.5 inches. Let's triple that. I got all that nastiness off, and it wasn't easy or fun, but it's off. This reel had that real magic. I wish I had a can of it out here. I usually have a can sitting right here, and I say, don't buy this stuff. People in the north, ice fishermen, that bothers me. I saw that on the video, and that bothers me. They use it to keep the reels free when it's icy, you know, and they spray it all over. I would recommend something else, but I don't know what. Maybe if you live up there and do a lot of ice fishing, you can enlighten us on something better than that stuff. But that stuff's just horrible. It's horrible stuff. Not gonna lie. So I got it all cleaned up. It's got shows a little bit of wear right there. That stuff was, yeah, I can't reiterate enough. I fought with it. I had to scrape it with my thumbnail off the reel. That's how bad it was. So, well, anyway, we can sit here and complain about it for days. Let's just put this thing back together, because it's cold down here, and I'll get this reel together. I'm going upstairs, and I'm going to sit back and watch my other YouTube channels that I like to watch and do nothing the rest of the day. And with that, a shout out to the Great Outdoors. I don't know when this video will come out, but I'm a subscriber of his channel. He's a subscriber of mine, and we are both fellow Virginians, which is kind of cool. And it's neat. It's neat to have other YouTubers in the area. Well, he's 4 hours away, but still, that's pretty cool. But I think he's from this side of Virginia. So this is your bell spring. This is it, and there's a hair there. Daggone it. Why? I must be transporting hair down here from the cat. Yeah, me and the cat have become friends. I'm not a cat person, but he's pretty cool. I can't complain about the little rascal. All right, let's put that in there. And then we need to get a little bit of grease on that. I don't like the way I have to deal with this. I'm thinking about just buying a bunch of tubes of this and squeeze it into one of these old pin tubs and using it, where I can use my brush. I have more control over it with the brush, And so we'll put that on there. It goes. And how's it go? There it goes. We're going to hold on to that for a second. Well, we can go ahead and put this guy in there. And then put the screw in it. I believe it's not that one. I believe it's this one right here. It throws you off on these quick fire reels. They use a very small belt retention screw, or bell arm retention screw. Okay, remember this guy, and let's go have to let's give him a little bit of this. This goes in like that. Remember, that's your bell return. And we're going to go ahead and put this cover on. I had to scrub it off that. It was stuck to it. It's like, what the heck? All right. The screw here. I would go build this thing this morning, but I'm so interested to see how it turns out that I'm willing to freeze to death. Oh my gosh, the hypothermia is probably going to set in here in a few minutes. It's cold. I don't like cold air, cold weather, and I have to work in it every day. So I'm being a little pretentious, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. I'm I'm built for Florida. And then we do need to put just a little bit of grease on top of there. Don't think I'd like Texas heat, but I think I could handle Florida heat. Because there's good fishing. Well, I guess there's good fishing in Texas too. Y'all tell me. But I know there's some real good fishing in Florida. I have friends that fish all year round down there, and they take it for granted, you know. There we go. Looks better and works better already. All right. Then you got your quick fire. It goes on right here. And that goes, hold on, gotta get it in here right. Like this. And it gets this longer, heavier screw. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm tired, I'm cold, and I'm still recovering from a cold. I know. As cold as does, it won't let go. Over here, give it some grease. The thing's got to slide around on there. Another hair. Can't stand them. And this had 2 shims on it. These 2 little bitty shims. Gosh. They went right down in there, and then this screw goes on it. This got turned, so we'll fix it back. Now I gotta remember how all this went. This could use a little extra work here. I ran the parts washer really shortly on some of these parts, so I think it went. No, it goes in from the other side. It goes in from right there. Yeah, and then it had this in the center. It had this out here. Right. So your plastic piece with the shoulder goes in from that side. I believe this is correct. And so does the inner part of the roller. And then this, I don't know, it don't act like it wants to sit like. Let's turn it around the other way and see what happens. I know the roller is correct orientation, but do I have the guts right? That's the question of the day. I believe this is correct here. It doesn't seem to really matter a whole hell of a lot. Probably could go back and look at the video and make sure, but I think we'll be okay with this. Oh, I might have the roller backwards, actually. Line roller. I say roller. When I say roller, I'm referring to the line roller. Let's try it like that and see what it looks like. I believe that's correct. And you got this big washer, thrust washer goes up in there. And it came back out. Yeah, we'll go back and look at it later, and if I got it wrong, I'll correct it. But I really don't know how to correct that with you all, but I do believe that roller is correct. We'll see how it spins when we get it together here. I want to say it's probably wrong. It rolls fine, so no obvious. I believe it's backwards though, because it just the bevel I think would go back towards the bell arm, but otherwise I think I got it right. The insides of it. Yeah, so the plastic ring is still up in there, so we will just flip this around. Roller's locked up. So, no, there it goes. It's fine. It's fine. And we do need to shoot just a little bit of oil down in there because I didn't oil it very good before I put it together. I should have had. But yeah, it's spinning fine. It acted like it was locked up, but it's definitely good. All right, so we're going to try that. I don't know what else to do with it, really. Get some fresh rag here to wipe this all down with. Well, it looks 100 times better. This reel is going to be a little gem when I get done with it. Somebody's going to get a nice little reel. Okay, I'll start building this end of it. Really hard to clean down in these little small reels. We'll give it a good wipe down here. All right. Let's do this. Of course, let's do the pinion. Gets the bearing. This was the pinion bearing. Got some oil down in it. Get some grease on it. It goes straight down in there. It's like that. And you got 2 screws that retain it. 2 Phillips head screws. that one's going to be tough to get started. All right. And I believe these shims are right on top of the bearing. And then you had your anti-reverse pawl right there. So see how it works when you're cranking the reel. It throws that back. When you quit cranking, it comes back to here, and that's where you set your rotor, which we're going to do right now to accept the. Well, we're not going to do the rotor yet, but that's where you would set it. The rotor's got to be timed correctly, and it's notched separately just for that reason. So. Well, let's go on with the reel here. This takes the bearing down the inside. It's been lubricated. Oh, man. All right. Why am I having such a hard time with the bearings today? There we go. Fill it full of some grease. You've got your cross wind. Goes down in there. Like that. Fill that full of grease. And let's get the gear ready. This is a fairly simple reel compared to some of the ones I've done here lately. Slide the gear down in it. And we can go ahead and put the axle in. You slide it down in there and just slide it up. And it's usually the screw has a little bit of Loctite on it. If there's a screw in a reel that will lock it up, it's this crosswind screw. It hits the gear. If it backs out, it'll hit the gear when the shaft's all the way out and lock a reel up 9 out of 10 times. In fact, I just fixed a Ceros that had a knock in it where the screw had backed out and the gear was hitting the screw, making it knock. So it's something that make sure you get it tight, you know. I think we're ready for the cover. I got 3 shims that go back on. Actually, there's like 5 or 6 shims there. Go back on this side. It was really shimmed. A lot of shims. Then your cover goes on. And there's 3 screws to hold that in place. I like everything about this reel except for the quick fire, and it's got its place. There's times that I would use a quick fire reel. If I were still fishing off my boat, I liked I had a Spyrex. It was quick fire that I really enjoyed it for my search baits. My search baits were on Smith Mountain Lake, Super Fluke, White Pearl Super Fluke, with a slightly weighted belly hook. I had a really particular way I rigged it and fished it. Probably different from a lot of people. It wasn't something I saw other people doing a lot. If the fish were super active but not top water active, they loved that thing. Rooster tail spinners, which I used on a bait caster. That's a great search bait. And when I say rooster tail, I'm talking about 1 ounce rooster tail. I'm talking about the big rooster tails, the big inlines. So those are 2 of my favorite search baits. So far, so good. It's looking a lot better, isn't it? I got all that crud off there. You can still see a little bit of it. I think it would be impossible to get every little bit of it off, but I think at this point it will wear off. You see how it's just little spots here and there, like right there. I had to go through and do that with my fingernail on this whole reel, my thumbnail. Okay, we're ready for the rotor. Your rotor is keyed, so it goes on like this. See how you got notch, a big notch, small notch, and you got a big lug, small lug, big lug on here. See, line that up like that. And that way, when it comes back around to anti-reverse, it locks up right there where your finger is ready to pull the quick fire. And we'll put the rotor nut on. I don't know. Was the Syncopate a popular reel? I don't know. I never fished with one. It's a nice looking reel. It's got some nice features to it, but I can't say that I ever fished with one. Then you got your screw. It goes in. I like my Sedonas, especially the rear drag Sedona. That's a good reel. The only rear drag reel I ever fell in love with, honestly. Now, get the screw setter out. I haven't used it on this reel. You put it in there and you push, and it spreads the jaws and holds that screw until you can get it started. You don't want to thread it in with that, it'll ruin it, but good for getting it started. That locks the nut in place. Excuse me. Let's put the handle on it. There again, just a nasty mess. You know, the handle is as bad as the rest of the reel. See a little bit right there I missed. See, there's just a little bit. Anywhere that stuff could just dry up, I can't get it off. Let me see if I can get a Q-tip and rub it off of there. It's pretty smooth so far. You can take the handles off, the paddles off of and I may take that one off real quick on these Shimanos. That's another feature about Shimano I really like. That way you can clean the old paddle post there and get it smooth again. This is not a ball bearing paddle, but that's okay. You ain't got to have it all, right? Get my rag back here. Really grungy. And then up in here, just take your Q-tip. You're going to see some really mess here. Look at that. Sorry, I should have done that when I was cleaning the damn reel. Goodness. I'm probably going to sell this reel. And I was looking at my reels that I use a lot up there, and I'm gaining a lot of these Shimanos, higher end Shimanos. I'm thinking I probably should just go ahead and let go of some of my lower end Shimanos and sell them to, or give them to a kid or something. Because I'm getting way too many of these nicer reels. And I'm not going to fish with some of those substandard reels anymore. Most likely. So I'll be flipping some of those around too. Leave just a little bit of grease there. Just a little bit. And put the screw in. All right. It's a little stiff, but not nothing you'll notice while you're cranking it. So, all right. Syncopate. Perfect little medium light size, 2000s or bread and butter stuff, And that is the advantage of the quick fire. And if you're doing search baits with it, that's a real advantage. You can make quick short casts. I like it for creek fishing, but this is too much reel for creek fishing, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would be a good creek reel. I can put 6-pound test on, but I prefer 4-pound test on the creek. So I've got a little 1000. Oh, what reel is that? I've got a 1000 size Shimano rear drag with the quick fire I like for fishing creeks, but don't always carry it, but I like it for that reason. All right, now you got your cog that goes down on here, and then you had your thin washer, and then the thicker washer. And it don't want to go. There we go. Then we'll do the drag. Not much of a drag. I wonder how this one looks. I think it's the same style though. It's just a couple washers, but I could be wrong. This one don't even have an eared washer in it. So this one's got a full drag stack. That's odd. This wasn't missing anything. The other one wasn't, so I don't know. I may just leave that line on there and wipe that spool off. And that way, whoever gets the reel, they get a little bit of line with it ready to go fishing. This spool's been sitting over here beside my workbench for a long time. I should be able to make someone pretty happy with it. No, it's just a one drag type system, one washer type system too. So, all right. Well, we're good with that. Let's go ahead and put the stuff on here. Good old cows. I wasn't going to do this today. It's so cold down here. I thought, too old to be down there in that garage. And then I got down here looking at this reel and thought, man, I really want to see how it's going to turn out. I soaked it for 2 days in WD-40 to get that stuff off the body. You might think, well, why? It's just an old Syncopate. Why not just throw it in the parts reel bin? And like a lot of other, like the great outdoors, Willie, I noticed he said this in one of his videos. He hates to throw them in the bin, and I'm the same way. I don't like to give up on a reel. I like to fix them, and that kind of what we're in this business for. I'm in here to repair reels, not to throw them away. So I try to fix every one of them I can, honestly. I'm hoping this is the right spool for this reel. I believe it is. We're going to try it out here in just a second. This one took the big lug washer, went down there. I'll put a little bit of oil in that so it doesn't stick. It was stuck in there. Drop that in, and we're going to put the, I can't talk. My tongue got tied. And then we're going to put this steel washer in, and your retainer. He said on one of his videos that he doesn't like to put reels in parts, but sometimes you have to. There's just no way out of it, just no way out of it. But if you can save them, save them. So many people throw stuff away just because some little something happens to it. Imagine all the really good quality reels are been in the trash for no reason. Let's put this one on and tighten it up and see what it looks like. This is the spool that would have come with the reel, of course. Nice drag. Smooth. It goes into full lockdown. That's good. Well, there it is. We'll try another spool on it. That's a far cry from what it was when I showed y'all the before. It would be hard for me to let go of this reel. It's a nice one, but I don't have any emotional attachment to it, that's for sure. Let's see if the other spool fits it okay. If it does, I'll put a rubber band on it and rubber band it to the reel and sell it. I'm pretty sure it's the right spool. Yep. Full lockdown. Looks a little different with the black on it, but that's okay. It don't matter. Fish don't know the difference, right? If you're a creek wader, that's great. You got an extra spool to throw in your backpack or shoulder bag, whatever. It's a perfect little setup, man. It's making me think about keeping it. It's not often you get a spare spool for a reel and just by chance already had it in the shop. I literally, it's been sitting there for a year or so. I said, sooner or later, I'll get a 2000 size Shimano in and it will fit it because they're all pretty much the same on the older years. All the 2000s, if it was a front drag, it used the same spool. If it was a rear drag, I've got probably 20 of those 2000 size rear drag spools with the push button in the end. Those things are a little bit everywhere. Okay, there it is, 2000 Syncopate. It's smooth. See, I've got some Abu Garcias that I fish with a lot, and none of them flip a bail back as good as a Shimano. I don't know what. You'll flip the bail and you'll go to turn and it'll lock up if you're not like really cranking into it. And that just aggravates the snot out of me about a spinning reel. That bail flip should be quick and effortlessly, And I don't know. I might end up keeping that reel. We'll see. Well, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Please like and subscribe and take a kid fishing. Not today. It's cold today. I don't know when this video is going to go out, but if you got a kid today, hand them a sled, put them some mittens on, a stocking cap, heavy jacket, say, get out of that damn house and go sleigh riding. Don't wind up in the yard. See you later. Anyway, that's how I raised them. Didn't always work out that way, though. There was a few yard trips over the years. Y'all have a great day. Catch you on the next one.